So I think a lot of people, if you ask them, realize that there's a lot of money to be made in the crypto market. But the thing is that maybe they don't know how to get started, or they don't know a good path or a good strategy in order to make it, okay? Maybe they've been in crypto and they've been burned in the past, or maybe they just haven't gotten the results they want because they don't have a good strategy. Whatever the case may be. But by the end of the video, hopefully I can give you guys a little bit of a roadmap, a little bit of a blueprint on how to make better decisions in the crypto market, how to have better direction. And this is why I created this small, simple, step-by-step guide for you guys, okay? That will help you make money over time in the crypto market for long-term success, okay? So in this video, we're gonna talk exactly about that. We're gonna talk about the process and all the things that you need to consider before you start your crypto journey, okay? And we're gonna talk about that right now. But before I do, I wanna let you guys know that nothing in this video is financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your financial counselor. What you decide to do with your money is up to you, and you need to take responsibility for your buys and your sells. Okay, so let's start. Let's get into the video, okay? So the first thing that we need to talk about, and this is probably the most important thing, and people in crypto don't talk about this enough, all right? A lot of people talk about the news and what's going on and all the current events and the things that get the people's emotions going, but a lot of people don't talk about the things that actually get you to succeed or the things that get you to not succeed, okay? The details, okay? The fundamentals of an investor, right? I could talk about all that stuff too. I could talk about the Genius Act. I could talk about all the different stuff that gets people's emotions going, or just news and staying up to date. And I think that you guys should stay up to date, and you guys should listen to news and just stay, basically informed in the crypto market. But over time, guys, what wins is doing your own research, okay? Doing your own research into the positions that you believe in, and that's what's actually gonna win, okay? That's what's actually gonna win. So the first thing that we need to talk about is you guys need to make the decision to fully commit to the crypto market, right? You guys need to fully commit to the crypto market, right? Now, what does committing mean in the crypto market, okay? Committing means learning every day, all right? Showing up every single day and doing research, and showing up every day, staying up to date on some of the basic news, okay? Not every day, but on a weekly basis, you guys should be paying attention to things that are happening in the crypto market, and that will help with your conviction. That will help stay up to date, and that will also help you have a better idea of how to get a rhythm in the market when things are overall bearish, when things are overall bullish, et cetera, okay? Now, the thing that you guys need to ask yourself is how can I get more disposable income so I can put more into the crypto market, right? How can I get more disposable income, right? This could be working more hours at your job. This could be getting a side hustle. This could be starting a side business or starting a side hustle, whatever the case may be. But getting to more disposable income is one way that you guys can afford more crypto, because that's what goes into crypto, is your disposable income, okay? And what is disposable income, for you guys that don't know? It's the money that you make and that you can afford after your expenses, okay? After your expenses, all the money that's left over after you're done paying your necessary expenses, that's your disposable income. You could choose what to do with the disposable income. You can go out to party. You guys can, use it to invest. You could put it into stocks. You could go shopping, whatever the case may be. That disposable income is your income, okay? And I recommend your disposable income, if you're a man rising up financially, I recommend the majority of your disposable income to go to assets, okay? And since I believe that crypto is the best appreciating assets in the world, I recommend cryptocurrency for that, okay? But that's what disposable income looks like. But you guys need to figure out how much disposable income you have and how to get more of it, okay? So you guys got to commit to learning, and you guys have to figure out how to get more disposable income, okay? And then the last thing kind of ties into the disposable income, which is to cut unnecessary expenses. Okay, you guys should cut unnecessary expenses if you can. What this means is that, you know, are you guys going out to eat too much? Okay, are you guys going out to eat too much? Are you guys spending money on the weekends too much? Are you guys going out too much to party? Nothing wrong with that, right? But these are questions that you guys should ask yourself if you're coming to the same questions of, I don't have money to invest. A lot of you guys do have money to invest. You guys just don't look and ask yourself these questions that I'm challenging you to ask yourself right now, okay? If you don't have any money, if you don't have any extra money, are you guys doing everything that you can to get more disposable income, right? Are you guys cutting unnecessary expenses, right? Unnecessary spending, right? Like the government can't stop spending money, and everybody's talking about the deficit. You know, people talk about the government deficit a lot. It's not actually the government. It's not actually the deficit that's the problem, you guys. All right, the deficit didn't just get there, right? The government deficit didn't just magically appear in the United States balance sheet. All right, the Treasury's balance sheet, right? That's not how that worked, right? The reason why the deficit exists is because of the excess government spending, right? And it's the same thing with your disposable income, right? The reason why you might be in a lot of credit card debt, or you're in a lot of debt, as an example, is because of your unnecessary and overspending, right? So that's just something to keep in mind, right? It's not the debt. The debt didn't just get there magically. That's why I don't understand people who talk about the government debt. They're like, oh, what are we going to do about this government debt? That's not the problem. The problem is the government spending. The government spends way too much money, and we can't afford all this government, right? But that's a totally different topic. But so yeah, guys, anyway, figure out your disposable income, right? Cut unnecessary expenses, and that will help you a lot in figuring that stuff out, right? A lot of times when you actually put that on paper, you actually decide that, you realize that, wait a minute, I do have money to invest. I'm just wasting it and not making the best decisions, right? And I'm guilty of this myself, right? Sometimes, you know, I like Mexican food a lot, right? So I gotta watch me personally, because I know myself. I have to watch, and I have to watch that, right? I have to watch going out to eat a little bit too much, right? I spend a little bit too much money eating the food that I like. So I need to, you know, calm down with that, right? So that's number one, is make the decision to commit. That's learning every day, making more money outside of your job, or outside of however you make money, and cut unnecessary expenses, all right? Now, the second thing is to develop a strategy for you, okay? Develop a strategy for you. For those of you guys who don't know, what does this mean? This means creating an investor profile, understanding your financial responsibilities, your risk tolerance, your age, you know, what's your goal? This is an investor profile, okay? Calculate your disposable income, all right? That's not an investor profile, but this also helps to create a strategy for you. Calculate your disposable income, create an investor profile for yourself, and create a DCA schedule, okay? A dollar cost average schedule. Every single time that you get paid, every single time that you make money, whether it be monthly from a business or by contract, or if you have a job, whenever your employer pays you, whatever the case may be, okay? Create a DCA schedule to pay yourself every single time that happens, right? Pay yourself every single time that happens. Okay, and if you guys need help creating an investor profile, calculating your disposable income, and doing all this stuff, you guys can jump in, get a coaching call with me. I can help you with that. And then once you guys create a schedule, once you guys create a DCA schedule, it could be complicated. It could be a little bit more dynamic of a DCA schedule, or it could be just a static, basic DCA schedule, all right? But ultimately, if you guys need help with that, if you guys want to optimize that for you, you guys can get a coaching call with me. Just jump down in the description, Telegram, and I can help you guys out with that, okay? So develop a strategy for you, create an investor profile, calculate your disposable income, and create a dollar cost average schedule. Every single time that you get paid, learn to allocate a little bit of that into solid assets. All right. So I touched on this a little bit. The next thing that I want to talk about is commit a little bit every single day to learning. All right. Commit a little bit to learning every day. All right. Now, what does this look like? This doesn't mean that you need to be on the computer all night or whatever the case may be. You can if you really like it. If you're really interested in blockchain and crypto, you could learn for hours a night. You can, et cetera. I mean, that's what I did when I first started. To be honest, when I first started, I was learning. I would come home from my job. I would learn for hours on night, hours and hours learning about this stuff. When I first learned about it and I first got curious about it, right? But every single day, it could be as little as 20 minutes a day you commit, right? Commit every single day to 20 minutes, right? You can develop skills in the crypto market that will help you make money. Technical analysis, fundamental analysis, learn how to move on chain. These are all different types of skills that you guys can learn. Learn what fundamentals are. Learn broader macroeconomics so that you have a decent understanding of that stuff, right? Technical analysis, learning how to chart, right? How to learn how to do fundamentals, how to look on chain, how to use Etherscan, how to use these blockchain explorers, right? How to look at on-chain data, okay? All this type of stuff are tools that can help you basically make money in the crypto market. It'll help you create your own thesis. It'll help you make decisions for yourself, and that's how you're going to do the best over time, which is to have your own thesis, okay? So for 6 months at a time, you guys can focus on a skill. Maybe you want to learn how to chart. You learn that for 6 months, then you go into maybe after 6 months, you know how to chart at a basic to intermediate level, all right? Then you could move on to fundamentals, all right? Then you could be like, all right, for the next 6 months, I want to learn fundamentals. It could be as little as 20 minutes a day, like I said. It doesn't have to be, a whole thing, all right? But crypto is a very lucrative tool, and I do think that learning those different skills is worth it, all right? It is worth it, and it's skills that you guys can use that you guys can make money with for the rest of your life. You guys can use those tools in the stock market. You guys can use those tools anywhere, right? So develop a skill, right? Stay updated on news and your investments specifically, right? Sometimes the crypto market changes very, very quickly, right? Changes very, very quickly. Now, what do I mean by it changes very quickly? You guys need to stay updated on your positions, right? If you guys are, as an example, if you guys are in Raydium, or if you guys are in, Sonic, or some of the stuff that I talk about, you guys should be in the Telegram chats. You guys should be looking at, just be updated on the team and update on any of the, any announcements that are important, right? You guys need to stay up to date a little bit, right? If you guys don't do that, what can happen is you guys can get left behind. You guys can get stuck in the mud a little bit, and you guys can you guys can fall behind. Crypto moves very, very quickly, right? The thing about crypto is that the gains in the crypto market are very, very high. Now, the thing about this though is that 1 year in the crypto market, in terms of news and updates and these blockchains and these teams and these applications, they update a lot. They update their security, they update their tech, they make a lot of different updates. Sometimes they do a tokenized version of a stock split. Sometimes they upgrade their chain, they hard fork their chain. You have to move money, okay? So you guys need to stay updated on your investments, okay? It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to be, like I said, you don't have to be coming home every single day looking at every single thing, but check your portfolio once a week, right? If you're in an asset, if you're in a position, join their Telegram, join their Discord, read the pinned messages, make sure that you're staying up to date, follow their official Twitter, right? The basics, just, check it once a week. It doesn't have to be, every single day you have to be on top of every single thing if you don't want to, right? But stay updated on some basic news, some basic, like right now, as an example, this week, right? This week, the three main things was, well, yeah, the three main things were the Bank of Japan, their interest rates for the yen carry trade. We obviously don't want to see their interest rates hike. The FOMC meeting, right, and the Genius Act, the details of the Genius Act, and then one that's coming up this week is Texas possibly getting approved for the Bitcoin Reserve, right? These are things that I have in my head that I'm just paying attention to lightly, and I'm looking to stay updated on the week. So I paid attention to that during the week. I'm planning on getting those questions answered, and then what that means for my investments, I think about that. Okay, that's just an example of staying updated on just broader crypto news, but then more specifically in the investments that I'm in, I'm also paying attention once a week. I'm checking the pinned messages in the telegrams, in the official telegrams, in the official discords. Make sure you guys are clicking on good links. Join my Telegram if you guys need help with that, like I said. But and then the last thing obviously is to watch my content. Okay, watch my content. This will give you guys a good direction on actually how to implement a strategy in crypto and actually make money. Not just about, following news and getting the emotions riled up. No, like this is actually information that will help you succeed over the long term in crypto, right? For you, okay? Now I can't make a specific plan for each and every one of you guys watching my videos. I know, because I know a lot of you guys that watch my videos and write to me all of you guys are in different situations. Some of you guys are older professionals that have a lot of money, right? And then some of you guys are younger men or even women that are watching my videos that are in different situations. So your strategy is going to be different based on who you are and what your situation is, right? So, but the stuff that I'm talking about here is universal to everybody. Everybody can do all these things, and it will make a difference over time, okay? And the last thing I have here is to buy things that you believe in, okay? Buy things that you believe in, okay? The truth is, you guys, is everybody in crypto, like the Bitcoin maximalists, right? The Bitcoin maximalists talk about, oh, it's only Bitcoin and no other, assets good, or it's Ethereum. Ethereum is the best, or Solana is the best, or XRP is the best, and everything else sucks. Guys, the truth is that you guys can make money in any of those niches. All right, you guys. The more important thing for you is to decide on what niche you guys want to make. Even the XRP guys, right? Even the XRP guys made money, right? They had to wait a long time, right? They had to wait a long time to make money, but they did make money. Okay, if you're an Avalanche and you're very niche in Avalanche, and you guys are paying attention more than 99% of people in Avalanche, then you guys are going to make money in that ecosystem because you're paying attention more than 99% of people, and you're probably talking to people, you're probably making connections, and then you could use that to make money in that ecosystem. All right, you guys can make money in Ethereum, you guys can make money on Base, you guys can make money on Sonic, you guys can make money on Solana, you guys can make money on Pulse Chain. You guys can make money on all these different blockchains. The more important thing that you guys need to do is you guys need to niche, and you guys need to decide what one you like the best. And then you guys need to niche down, and you guys need to decide on where your competitive advantages are going to be and what your niche is going to be, right? So that's just something to keep in mind, okay? And the niche that you're in is the thing that you should have the most conviction in, and the thing that you believe in the most in the crypto market, okay? And if you guys don't have conviction in the crypto market at all, then I recommend you guys do more research, and then your conviction level should change if you're doing the correct research, right? So, yeah, like I said, specializing is better than doing everything. Trying to do everything all at once, right? Trying to be an expert in AI cryptos, RWA cryptos, Sonic, Pulse Chain, it's too much, guys. There's too much stuff in crypto going on. It's impossible to pay attention to everything all the time unless you're an actual professional at figuring out, of having the whole market on lock. And even then, you probably can't do it yourself, right? So it's better to just specialize into the things that you like, and you guys can make money in any niche that you guys are in crypto. And that's what a lot of people don't get right in crypto, okay? Some of my friends are, they specialize in tokenization, right? They specialize in tokenization. That's their thing. Maybe they work in that sector, or maybe they just like it a lot and they have a lot of conviction in it, and all they talk about is tokenization, RWAs, real world assets. That's their niche, that's their competitive advantage. And whenever I have a question about RWAs or tokenization, I call them up and I talk to them and I ask them their opinion, because I value their opinion. All right, they're smart people, but they have more time than I do to be able to allocate into real world assets. I understand real world assets and tokenization more than most people, but in terms of plays and opportunities, I don't have the time to look at everything in the crypto market. And if I don't, you don't either, okay? So that's one thing, is that specializing is better than trying to be an expert at everything, all right? A good way to put this is to the eggs that you have, it's better to have 5 to 7 eggs, watch them carefully, than to have 100 eggs and not watch them at all, right? So there's something to keep in mind. Yeah, choose something that you're into, and if you actually choose something that you like to look into and you're passionate about it and you actually believe in it, it's going to be a lot easier for you guys to pay attention to those investments. Okay, it's going to be a lot easier to pay attention to those investments if you actually believe in what you're buying and what you're researching. Okay, if you're just doing it to make short-term money, it's going to be a lot harder to survive and a lot harder to make money in the crypto market. Okay, so that's number 4, is to buy things that you believe in. Okay, choose a niche and specialize in that niche. All right, and the last thing that I have is to stay in the game and be patient, right? Stay in the game and be patient. A lot of the reasons why people in the crypto market don't succeed is because they don't stay in it long enough, right? A full 4-year cycle is not, it takes, it's brutal, okay? For you guys who have been in the crypto market for the most part. No, it's very lucrative, but a lot of times when people think that you're just going to come into crypto and make quick money and you're not going to experience any pain, you're not going to experience any dips or downside, they learn very quickly that the market humbles them in most cases, and they need to be patient and actually have conviction, right? People who say that people who made a lot of money in crypto got lucky, that's not actually the case. For people who have been in crypto for a long time, those big gains, they do happen, but you realize that you have to go through a lot of pain in order to get those gains, right? So that's just something to keep in mind as well, is that if you were here when Bitcoin was 15,000, in 2022, that was a lot different of a sentiment than Bitcoin now, right? Bitcoin now at 100,000, Bitcoin's established itself as an asset that's here and that's not going away, right? But just 3 years ago, that was not the case, right? Everybody was, it was a lot harder to buy crypto, in November of 2022 when FTX was collapsing and everything was collapsing than it is right now. Everybody wants to buy Bitcoin now. Everybody wants exposure. All of Wall Street's buying it. The governments are buying it, right? It's obvious, it's easy now, but Bitcoin's at 100,000, right? So you guys need to stay in the game and you guys need to be patient in the crypto market, okay? And over time, if you stay in the game, a lot of people the reason why they don't get the results they want is because they just don't stay in the game long enough. They don't hold their assets long enough to be able to actually manifest their, the results that they want, right? A lot of times people, if they just stayed in the game longer and they were patient and they were just more consistent, they would be able to maximize those gains a lot better, and they would actually make a lot more money if they just stayed in the game longer. The problem is that they come in for short-term wins and then they don't stay, they have no conviction, and then they end up failing because they don't stay in the game long enough. So I encourage you guys to stay in the game long enough, okay? So that's the video, you guys. I hope this gives you a good blueprint. All right, so the 5 things that we talked about was make the decision to commit, right? Develop a strategy that's good for you. Commit to learning a little bit every day and improving the skills in crypto, whether that's charting, whether that's fundamentals, whether that's macro, whatever the case may be. All right, that's buy things that you believe in and stay in the game and be committed, okay? So that's what we talked about today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys found value in it. If you guys did, like the video, hit the notification bell, subscribe to my YouTube channel, okay? If you guys find value in the videos, all right? Instagram, Chase Your Grace, TikTok, Chase Your Grace, all right? If you guys want to get coached by me, jump in the Telegram group, and I hope you guys have a good day and a good weekend. Thank you, and bless up.